أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما اللهم فقهنا في الدين آمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh ya Ahlul Quran. I hope and pray that you all are in the best state of health and increasing state of Iman. Ameen. Alhamdulillah. So, Alhamdulillah, in previous 6 classes, we have already completed learning the Makharij al Huruf, right? All the articulation point of 28 Arabic letters, Alhamdulillah. And maybe all have practiced it very well, inshallah. There are 6 letters of halaq, that is throat letters, Hamza, Ha, Ain, Ha, Ghain, Kha, and 4 letters of your lip, that is Ba, Mim, Fa, Wow, and the remaining 18 letters are pronounced from the tongue, Alhamdulillah, that is Al-Lisan. Okay, fine, Alhamdulillah. From now we will start learning the Tajweed rulings. All those Tajweed rulings which we are going to learn now are applied on the same letters which we have already completed learning. Okay, so you have to practice those letters each and every day. Before every class, you have to make sure that your Makharij al-Huruf is correct. Okay, every day you just practice those Makharij al-Huruf. The Tajweed rulings are very easy. They are totally easy. If you compare to the Makharij al-Huruf, the Tajweed rulings are very easy. So you have to concentrate more on the letters, because all the Tajweed rulings which we are learning is applied on those letters only, right? And that is why you have to know the Makharij al-Huruf very well. Alhamdulillah. So inshallah, the first Tajweed ruling which we are going to learn today is called as Harakaat. Harakaat. Okay, what does Harakaat means? Harakah means the movement. Okay, in a simple linguistical meaning, if we say what is Harakah, Harakah means movement. What happens is, we already have learned that Makhraj is the home of letters. It is a house of letters from where they exit, right? Now, for example, in this image, we have taken 3 letters, right? Sheen, Seen, Kha. Okay, where are they exiting from? Their own Makhraj, and this is their Makhraj, this is their home. Fine. Now, when we add harakas on it, they just don't leave their homes with their original state. Like, they won't now leave like Jim, ya, Kha, Seen, Sheen. Now they'll start movement. Okay, they'll start moving now. Like, if you add fatha, they move up. If you add kasra, they move. The sounds just move down. And when you add dhamma, they will move forward. Okay, this movement is called as haraka. Now they are not just coming out of their houses from their makhraj in their original state. Now they'll start moving. This movement is called as haraka. Okay, in English, if you want an alternate to it, they are the short vowels. Okay, for example, in English there is A, E, I, O, U. These are the vowels, right? For example, if you take a letter B and add A, now B is not B, but it's move forward, it will move up like ba, right? And if you add B with I, it will become B. With I, it just becomes by. If you add E, B-E, it becomes B, right? The voice just goes down. In this same way, the Arabic vowels are only 3. Okay, they are called as fatha, dhamma, kasra, and these are the short vowels. There are long vowels also, where you'll have to stretch for a long time. Just for example, if we add be, it is just B. And if you add B double E, then it is B, right? In the same way, in Arabic also there is long accent, and these are the short accents where we are going to stretch the letters only for one haraka. Okay, haraka means movement. Harakat means the plural of harakah. Okay, Alhamdulillah. The letters which has haraka is called as mutaharrik. Okay, in Lahan al-Jali we had learned converting mutaharrik to sakin, sakin to mutaharrik. So what is mutaharrik? All those letters which has fatha, dhamma, kasra on it are mutaharrik letters. Okay, haraka, mutaharrik. Fine. What are these harakas called? We call them as fatha, dhamma, kasrah. Okay, they have a different signs also. Inshallah, let's learn those signs. How do fatha, dhamma and kasrah resemble? Okay, if you take any letter, if this line, if you consider this line as a letter, okay, fatha and dhamma always comes above the letters. You will not find them below the letters. Okay, they always come above the letter, and kasra always will be below any letters. Okay, below the letters. Fatha and dhamma above the letters, and kasra below the letters. And how do they look like? Fatha is just like alif, but now it is slant. Okay, now it is slant. It is just a small stick kind of thing which is slant. It is not standing. Okay, and kasra is also same, just like fatha. The difference between fatha and kasra is fatha comes above the letters and kasra comes below the letters. Fine. And what is dhamma? Dhamma is just like the letter wow, but in a slant position. Even that dhamma, that wow is not in a straight position but in a slant position. Okay, this is fatha, dhamma, kasra, and they are also called as in Indo-Pak version as zabar, zair and pesh. This is zabar, this is zair and this is pesh. Okay, or we'll call it as fatha, dhamma, kasra. It is up to you. You can name them however you want. If you already have practiced it in your childhood as zabar, zair, pesh, then you can practice it in that way, inshallah. Now let's see these fatha, dhamma, kasra separately, how to pronounce them. Okay, fine. Make sure that whenever you add fatha, dhamma, kasra, you have to pronounce those letters only for one harakah. Only for one harakah. What is one harakah means? What does one harakah means? One harakah in English, if you want to convert, is called as one count. One count. Just the time which takes you to say one. Not so fast like one and not so slow like one. It is just an exact time. One. It is a one haraka. Okay, if you say two numbers like 1, 2, this is 2 haraka. In 2 haraka, if you want to know the timing exactly, 2 haraka is equal to 1 second. Okay, 1 second. But here all the letters with fatha, dhamma, kasra, we have to stretch only for 1 haraka, that means for half second. And if you want to know even the easiest way to know what one haraka means, then close all your fingers. Okay, close all your fingers, open one finger at a time, and not so fast and not so slow. A, I, U, ba, bi, bu, ta, ti, tu. Not like a, I, U, ba, bi, bu, ta, ti, tu, and also not like a, I, ooh, this becomes long accents. Okay, so we have to make sure that the sound should not extend, it should not exceed more than one haraka, and also not lesser than one haraka. Exact one haraka is equal to one count, like 1, 2. Okay, and one haraka can also be calculated by closing all your fingers and opening just one at a time, not so fast and not so slow. A, ba, ta, tha, ja. Okay, in this way. And the next thing is, in 2 harakas, in 1 second there are 2 harakas in 1 second. Okay, for example, 1 second, I'll just stretch a letter hamza with fatha for 1 second. It sounds like right, but we have to just make half of it, like fine, not stretching it too much. If you just stretch from 1 haraka to 2 haraka, it will convert into mad. It will become a long accent, and that is not allowed. You cannot convert the harakas, the short vowels, into long vowels. Fine. Just like if you say an example in English, if be is B, this has a meaning. If you add double E to it, it sounds B and the meaning changes, or it can also become meaningless, and that is why we cannot stretch any harakas more than 1 haraka. Fine. Okay, how to pronounce this? We already know it is very easy. We have already learned it from childhood. A, I, U, ba, bi, bu, ta, ti, tu, right? But still we do some kind of mistakes. Inshallah, we will discuss those mistakes which we do in harakas, and also let's see how to exactly pronounce these harakas. Okay, fine. If you add fatha on the haraka, you have to recite that letter by opening your mouth completely. First touch its makhraj, whatever the makhraj it is. Like for example, if you take letter ba, you have to first make it come out from its makhraj, okay, or else it will not sound clearly, right? First the makhraj is main important thing here, ba, okay. And stretching should be only for one haraka, that is the second point which you have to remember. And third is you have to open both your jaws completely to pronounce this letter ba. See, ba, 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 a, ba, ta, sa. If you don't open both your jaws completely, then it will sound like a, ba, ta, sa. It is not a, ba and ta, it is a, ba, ta, sa. The sound should be a, a. It should not go slant like a, ba, ta. This is wrong. And how this correct sound can be produced? Only by opening both your jaws. If you just close your jaws tightly and if they are not so wide open, then this will sound like a, ba, ta, sa. It is not a, ba, ta, it is a, ba, ta, sa, ja, ha, kha, da, za, ra. Okay, in this way you have to stretch it only for one haraka and make sure to pronounce it exactly from its makhraj. All these letters should come out from their exact makhraj and they should not sound like a. It is not a, it is a. Okay, alhamdulillah, this is how we pronounce the letter that is the letters carrying fatha. Now let's see how to pronounce something which has dhamma on it. To pronounce the letters which has dhamma on it, you have to encircle your lips everywhere, okay, from hamza to ya. Your lips should be encircled. The makhraj should be from where the letter exits, okay. The makhraj of all the letters should be exact from where they exit, and the sound should go forward, it should move forward, and the lips should be encircled, okay. Our lips should be encircled like u, bu, tu, thu, ju, hu, khu, du, zu, ru, zu. See, the sound is moving so straight. It should not just go here and there. The mistakes which we do here is we don't encircle our lips completely. We just keep it open and it will sound like o, bo, to, so, jo. It is not o, bo, to. It is u, bu, tu. Okay. O, bu, tu, su, ju, hu, khu, du. In this way it should sound fine. Make sure the lips should be encircled when you pronounce the letters with dhamma. The last one is how to pronounce the letters with kasra. Okay, the letters are recited by lowering your lower jaw. How to pronounce these letters? Okay, if you want to know exactly, just keep your finger below your chin, okay, and pronounce E, B, T. You have to see that your chin is moving backward. If it moves backward, it means you're lowering your jaw, and it is the exact way to pronounce this letter E, B, T. Okay, the chin should move backward. Then only it is a exact pronunciation of the letters carrying kasra. If you don't do so, it will sound like A, B, T, C, G. This is wrong. Okay, it should not sound like A, B, T. If you move your lower jaw backward, then it will exactly sound like E, B, T, C, G, He, He. Okay, this is the way you have to pronounce this all these harakas when they come above or below these letters. Alhamdulillah. Okay, always the fatha will be above the letters and dhamma will be above the letters and kasra always will be below the letters. Fine, alhamdulillah. This is how you pronounce these harakas. Harakah means one, okay. Harakah means one letter, one fatha or dhamma or kasra. These all together are called as harakat. Okay, that is the plural. Alhamdulillah, we have already learned, and I'll repeat these things again now, inshallah, so that you will understand all these things very well. Okay, we have already learned that the makhraj is a house of a letter from where they exit, but as soon as we add harakas on them, that is the short vowels, then they don't exit from their homes, from their houses, from their makhraj just in their original forms. Now they'll start moving. when we add fatha, they move up, and when we add dhamma, they move just forward, and when we add kasra, they start moving down. This movement should not be more than one haraka, that is one count. One count or one haraka. If it exceeds one haraka or one count, then they will go into the long vowels. They will convert into the long vowels or the long accents called as mad, and we should not pronounce fatha, dhamma, kasra as a mad. Okay, alhamdulillah, fatha is just like a small alif, but it is in a slant position. Okay, alif but in a slant position, and kasra is also in the same way, but fatha is always above the letter and kasra is always below the letters. Dhamma is just like waw but in a slant position, and it is also always it is present always above the letters. Alhamdulillah, how does this sound like? If you take a letter hamza, if you add fatha, it sounds a. If you add kasra, it sounds e. If you add dhamma, it sounds u. How to make this sounds? For fatha, you have to open both your jaws. For dhamma, you have to encircle your lips so that the sound should just move forward. It should not spread here and there and sound like o, bo, to. It should just sound very straight like u, bu, tu. Fine. And for kasra, you have to lower your lower jaw. I mean, you have to move your lower jaw backwards, then it will be pronounced clearly E, B, T, C, G. Okay, alhamdulillah. Now we'll add all the we'll add fatha, dhamma, kasra in all these Arabic alphabets. Fine. First, I'll recite all these things, and then inshallah we'll all can practice together. Okay, I'll recite harakat of fatha, then dhamma, then kasra, and all these letters with its explanation, and after that at the end inshallah let's all practice together. Okay, first inshallah let's learn about a fatha. Okay, how when all these letters have fatha on it, how to pronounce them. We have to remember few things before starting this. You should write it in your notes inshallah, which is the important thing which we have to know before reading the letters with fatha, dhamma and kasra. First thing is the makhraj should be correct. Okay, the makharij al huruf, like for example, you should not add a whistling sound to sa and convert it into the letter sin. Okay, you should not add a buzzing sound to letter dal and convert it to za. That means the makhraj should be same. If you change the makhraj, there is no the applying of the rules is just waste, because as soon as you change the makhraj, the letter changes, the meaning of a word either changes or it becomes meaningless. Alright, so it is important for us that the letters should be pronounced from their makhraj only. Okay, from their makhraj only. And then the second point is all those letters carrying fatha, dhamma, kasra should not be extended or stretched more than one haraka. More than one haraka, they should not be stretched. Okay, not even lesser than that, just an exact one haraka. And the third thing is the light letters will be pronounced lightly and the heavy letters are pronounced heavily. All the light letters should be pronounced lightly and the heavy letters are pronounced heavily. But we have learned three mushtarak letters, right? One is alif, but as soon as we add fatha to this alif, or dhamma or kasra to this alif, it will convert into hamza. So this is no more an alif fatha a, it is now hamza fatha a. Okay, this is not alif fatha a now, it is hamza fatha. So we will just discard alif from this three mushtarak letter. Now remaining are two. The second one is lam. This lam is heavy only in lam al jalalah, that is when it comes in the letter Allah. Even there it should have fatha and dhamma before it. We'll learn that later inshallah. So here nowhere we are learning the word of Allah, right? So we'll not consider letter lam also. Lam is light in all the harakas, in fatha and dhamma and kasra. Even the lam is light now, pronounced light. Now only one letter is remaining, that is ra. And ra with fatha and dhamma is heavy. You cannot pronounce this ra like ra. It is not a ra. With fatha it is ra, ra, ra. And with dhamma it is not so light like ru. It is ru, ru, ru. How to make it heavy? Doing isti'ala, raising the back portion of your tongue towards the soft palate will create a narrowness in your mouth, and that is why these heavy letters will sound heavy. So to pronounce the ra with dhamma and fatha, you have to raise the back portion of your tongue and make it heavy. Ra, ru. And the ra with kasra, that is the ra with kasra, is always light. It is like ri. Ri. It should not sound ri, ri. It should not be heavy. Only the ra with fatha and dhamma is heavy. Inshallah, we'll have a separate class regarding the rules of ra, in that you will learn it very well. But now, just while learning fatha, dhamma, kasra, write it somewhere in the side. Lam is not considered here because it is heavy only in lam al jalala. Alif is not considered because as soon as we add any harakas to it, then this alif is no more alif. Now we cannot pronounce it like alif fatha a, ba fatha ba. Now we have to say hamza fatha a, ba fatha ba, ta fatha ta. Why? Because this alif is no more an alif. As soon as it has harakas on it, now it has just converted into this hamza. So in this slide, in all the 29 Arabic letters, we have hamza for 2 times now. Okay, there is no alif. Fine, alhamdulillah. So we are only going to consider letter ra in all 3 slides, where ra with fatha and dhamma is heavy and with kasra it is light. Now I'm going to recite all these letters. Make sure how I am making the letters heavy, especially when they are heavy letters, and how I'm reciting the other letters lightly, and also focus on the makharij. Okay, inshallah, I'm going to recite all these things only once, because with fatha I'm going to recite once, and with dhamma and with kasra it will be just like reciting each letter for 3 times. So kindly focus on the haraka, how much haraka I'm stretching, and focus on how the sounds are produced. The a should be a, O should be O. It should not sound like O, and E should not sound like A, B, T. Okay, because few sisters I have seen reciting Bismillahi. It is not Bismillah, it is Bismillah. So make sure to focus on the sound of the vowels also, inshallah. First I'm going to recite the letters with fatha. Okay. A, B, T, Th, J, H, Kh. Just look, when I recited the letter kha, when I pronounced it, I made it heavy. It is not kha, it is kha, kha. Okay? Da, the, ra. Ra with fatha is heavy, ra. Za, sa, sha. Now these 4 huruf al-musta'aliyah, if we don't pronounce it lightly, they will convert into another letter. Sad will convert to seen, dad will convert to dal, ta will convert to this ta, and dha will also convert to dal. So make sure to pronounce these 4 letters heavily. Sa, da, ta, dha. Okay, now I'll repeat it with its alternate. Okay, with seen. Okay, for example, with seen I'll repeat sad, with dal I'll repeat dad, with ta, ta, and with dal I'll repeat dha. You just see the difference. Sa, sa, da, da, ta, ta, da, dha. Okay, I'll repeat it again. Sa, sa, da, da, ta, ta, da, dha. Okay, there is a difference in these letters, right? Ain with fatha is very easy. A, ghain should be heavy. Gha, fa, qa, ka, la, ma, na, wa, ha, a, ya. This a and this a is same, and this ha and this ha is completely different. Okay, you should not just convert these both letters. It should be ha, 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 ha. Okay, inshallah. So now let's see the letters carrying dhamma. We'll come to the words later, inshallah. Now we'll see the letters carrying kasra. Okay, same thing, the makhraj should be exactly same, it should not change. The letters should be stretched only for 1 haraka, not more than that or not even less than that. And the ra with kasra is always light. The heavy letters should be pronounced heavily when they are in kasra. Okay, it is a bit difficult in the beginning to pronounce the heavy letters heavily when they have kasra, but still you need to practice it well, inshallah. And all the light letters, the remaining light letters, are pronounced lightly. Okay, I'm going to recite this. Focus on the makhraj and also the sounds they produce. E, B, T, C, G, he. Just look how sharp it is. It is he, He, khi. It is not he, it is he. It should sound heavier. The, re is light now. It has kasra. The ra is mushtarak light. Sometimes it is heavy and sometimes it is light. And in this fatha, dhamma, kasra, we have learned that ra with fatha and dhamma is heavy, but with kasra it is light. It should not sound re. It should sound re. Z, si, she, si. These four letters, just look how heavy they are even if it has kasra. Si, dwi, twi, vi. Now I'll read both with their alternates. Si, di, ti, vi. Okay, it should be heavy inshallah. Fi, ki, li, mi, ni, we, he, yi. Okay, the mistakes which I have seen in few sisters is when the ya comes with kasura, they pronounce it like e. It is not from the throat, it should come out from your middle part of the tongue only. Ya, you, yi. Okay, alhamdulillah. These are the letters with kasra. The rulings are just same, only one ruling differs, that is the ra with kasra is light. Alhamdulillah. Now we'll see the letters with dhamma. How do they sound? U, bu, tu, su, ju, hu, du, ru. Ra is now heavy, it has dhamma. It is not ru, it is ru. Okay, heaviness. Zu, su, shu. Now these four huruf al-musta'aliya must be heavy. Su, du, tu, zu. Now I'll read the similar letters, there is a similar letters for these four letters, right? And also they are light, but these are heavy. Su, du, tu, zu, vu. Okay, I'll repeat it again. Su, du, bu. Okay, tu, and zu, vu. Fine. Ru, fu, ku, lu, mu, nu, wu, hu, you. Okay, wu, hu, you. Fine. In this letter I have seen mistake, just like ya with kasra, few sisters pronounce it like e. This wa with dhamma is not u, wa with dhamma is wu. It should come from your lip only. Wu. Fine. Alhamdulillah. We have now seen all these letters. Now inshallah I'll read these words also with fatha first inshallah. What we have to remember here is they must be pronounced only for one haraka. Heavy letters are heavy and the light letters are light inshallah. And sometimes in few words one light letter will be there in between heavy letters, like two heavy letters, only one light letters in the middle. And sometimes we will pronounce that light letter also heavy, so make sure not to do so inshallah. Fine. Now I'm going to recite all these letters. Ra is heavy here because it is having fatha on it, right? Darasa, amara. Ra is heavy. Ghain is heavy here. Balagha. Now all these letters are light. عدد, ثمر, جمع, حسن, ذكر, كسب, وجد, رفع, صدق. Now here the letter dal is a light, but letter qaf and letter sad are heavy. So when we pronounce these kind of words, then we can make a mistake and pronounce the letter dal heavy and it sounds like sadaqa. That is, the dal can become heavy, but we have to avoid doing this and pronounce dal lightly and both these letters heavily. Sadaqa. Okay, this can happen only if you practice well inshallah. These two are heavy now. Dad is a heavy letter and letter ra mushtarak with fatha, it is heavy. Daraba. See, you should not make it sound like daraba. It is wrong. Daraba. As soon as we pronounce the letter ba, the elevated back portion of our tongue should come down. Daraba. ظلم, فحشر, عبس, خلقك. Kha heavy, qaf heavy. Lam and kaf are light. خلقك. See, the lam and kaf should be sound lightly and kha and qaf should be heavy. خلقك. فعدلك. Okay, now inshallah we'll see the words carrying kasra. One haraka only. Ibili, radifa, kadhiba, bakhila, khi. It should be heavy. Falima, ya isa. This is hamza. Okay, this is hamza. Sometimes it will come in this way because it is a very small letter, and that is why sometimes it will be present on the letter ya. Ya without any dots, it will be present, and we have to pronounce that hamza. Ya isa, abati, baladi, maliki, kibari, alima, adina, baqiya, hamida, khoshiya. Kha heavy, it is not kha, it is kha. Khoshiya, shariba, ghadiba, ghadi. See, it should not sound ghadi. It is not dal, it is di. Ghadiba, hatabi, hatabi. Okay, now inshallah let's see the words carrying dhamma. Rusulu, ra heavy. Rusulu, sudusu, ju'ila, khuliqa, dhukira, zulima, muni'a, lu'ina, hudiya, wujida, سقط صحف ربوع أذني وهو كتب. Fine. Everything should be for one haraka. Heavy letters should be heavy and light letters should sound light. Inshallah. Now let's repeat all these letters with fatha, dhamma, kasra at once. Okay, like a, I, u, ba, bi, bu, ta, ti, tu, tha, thi, thu, ja, ji, ju. In this way we'll recite. Okay, and you will repeat after me, not with me, inshallah. I'll first recite one letter, you'll recite it after me, and just wait till I recite the second letter so that everyone can listen to what I'm pronouncing. Okay, inshallah. First let's recite with hamza. A, I, u, ba, bi, bu, ta, ti, tu. Okay, sir, without any whistling sound. Sa, si, su. Ja, ji, ju. Okay, now the letter ha with very sharp sound. Ha, hi, hu. Kho. Kho is heavy now. Kho, hi, hu. Okay. Daddy do. Daddy do. Daddy do. Ra should be heavy with fatha and dhamma and light with kasra. Rari ru. Zazizu. Sasisu. Shashishu. Okay, now these letters should sound heavy. Make sure you pronounce it heavily. Sasisu. Dadidu. Dadidu. Tatitu. Tatitu. Dhalidu. Okay. A'i'u. Ghaghiru. Heavily. Ghaghiru. Fafifu. Qaqiqu. Kakiku. Lalilu. Mamimu. Naninu. Wawiwu. Hahihu. Aiu. Ya, yi, yu. MashaAllah, barakumullahu feekum, alhamdulillah, it is perfect. This is how we will recite these words, okay? These letters with fatha, dhamma and kasra. Now we'll recite these last slide because this last slide has fatha, dhamma, kasra, all these letters, all these harakas in it, right? So inshallah we'll recite this. You all unmute your mics now Okay, make sure you recite after me. Rusulu, sudusu. Okay, now this word has dhamma, kasra, fatha. Make sure to sound correctly. Ju'ila, khuliqa, khuliqa. Ra with fatha is heavy. Dhukira. Dha should sound heavily. Zulima, zulima. Muni'a, muni'a. Lu'ina, hudiya, wujida, wujida. Suqita, suqita. Suhufu, rubu'u, udhuni, wahuwa, kutubu. MashaAllah, barakallahu feekum. Excellent. This is how we pronounce the letters, the words which carries fatha, dhamma and kasra. Alhamdulillah. And make sure the heavy letters should be pronounced heavily and the light letters must be pronounced lightly, especially those four letters sad, dad, ta and dha. That should not sound light. If they sound light, they'll convert into the another similar letters. Alhamdulillah. And another mistakes which I see in students is they recite the last letter for two count. I don't know why, like rusulu, sudusu, ju'ila. That is making the last letter count for more than two count. This is wrong. Okay, make sure all the letters carrying fatha, dhamma, kasra should be pronounced only for one haraka. Okay, not more than that. Alhamdulillah, this is the very easy tajweed ruling. That is the letters carrying fatha, dhamma, kasra is called as a mutaharrik huruf, and these mutaharrik huruf should be pronounced only for one haraka, and the letters which are light must be light, and the heavy letters should be pronounced heavily. Alif is excluded because as soon as we add harakas to it, it will convert into hamza, and lam is excluded because it is heavy only in lam al jalala, that is in the word of Allah. And ra is included here because ra is a mushtarak letters. With fatha and dhamma it sounds heavy, and with kasra it sounds light. Alhamdulillah. If you have any kind of doubts, inshallah you can ask me on WhatsApp, because now the time has ended, the meeting time has ended. So inshallah let's close the meeting. Okay, subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan.